Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. Tonight's topic: to have a good appearance takes work. Having a good appearance takes work. Now, why do I say that? Well, we live in this age of political correctness to basically everything goes. Although it's not real, but everything goes. And we allow that to happen because we don't want to offend people who aren't up to par with who they really are. Case in point, when I talk about your appearance, I talk about how you take care of yourself, regardless of your shape. Now, in this country, there's this term called body shaming that has come out from individuals who don't take care of themselves to basically shame individuals who do take care of themselves. In fact, I was watching a Tommy Sotomayor video about 4 or 5 months ago where this African American woman was kicked out of a gym because she was too thin. Does that make any sense? And the reason why she was kicked out, because she was working on herself while the lazy members at the gym were not working on themselves. And they felt offended. To me, those members should come to that person and find out what she does to tone herself up. Now, there's nothing wrong with having meat on a bone, but too many people in this country, especially women, want to give themselves these self-proclaimed titles to cover up who they really are. And I'm talking about body type now. You get the ones who are fat and out of shape, who call themselves thick, the term BBW. By the way, the term BBW is for a voluptuous woman. It's not for a fat woman. It's two different terms. Plus size. I just read something today that plus size is divisive to women. You see where I'm going? All these accolades are shaming tactics from women who don't care to work out, who don't care to be healthy, who don't care about their looks, but they're going to shame somebody who does. That's a big problem in this country. And what that does is put us in a make-believe country because we can't all sing Kumbaya. We're not all alike. Let me tell you this. When a person says, accept me for who I am, and their attitude is not up to par, and I'm talking about they're damaged psychologically, they have health problems, usually it's because they're too lazy to work on themselves. People who have a good appearance will get more attention. It's always been like that. And when it comes to women, as men, we're very visual. Unfortunately, some of us men don't look at the personality. We should also take the personality into consideration as well. But if we find somebody attractive, that's the person we're going to look at. Every woman and even every man is not going to be attractive. That's just like a person who's not 6 feet tall. Now, there's some women who don't find people who are 5'8", 5'9" attractive, and they have their preference. But you can't work on your height. But you can work on your grooming. You can work on your hair. You can work on your mind, and you can work on your body. But you have a number of individuals who choose not to. Why? Because it's the easiest way out. That gives them carte blanche not to do anything. And when they don't do anything, they have this idea that everybody should accept them. No, nobody's going to accept you if you don't even accept yourself. And this is part of getting to know yourself and love yourself. If I have to shame somebody for doing the right thing because I'm not doing the right thing, then the onus is all on me. I have to pick up the pieces and get my life together. That's why I've always said, when you live in the real world, you must understand that most of us, particularly men, are very visual. When you go to buy a car, and I'm asking you ladies this, are you going to buy a car that's dirty? Are you going to buy a car that has a bunch of paint taken off of it, scratched? Are you going to buy a car that has a broken windshield? No, you're not. You're going to buy a car that looks appealing to you. That's how it works. Again, we are all visual, and how you keep yourself up and how you carry yourself is going to get you the attention from other people. Because let's be honest, as a man, when we look at a woman, we do see the outside. That's not going to change. I don't care how much radical feminism you set up against us. You're not going to beat the rule and the law of nature. It's not going to happen. I don't care what kind of ideology you come up with. Because at the end of the day, the beauty is going to be above ideology. Now, what individuals need to do with themselves is not be lazy and work on themselves. It takes a lot of work. It takes money to be halfway decent. You don't have to be a perfect 10. But you need to have an appearance if you're seeking to find that mate. Both men and women are very visual. I know some women have a little bit more leniency as long as the guy has some money, but even that doesn't play into the equation anymore. Because when it comes to guys, women have certain features that they look at when it comes to us, such as being muscular, 6 feet tall. Because what turns everybody on is beauty, and we keep forgetting that. This is why you must accept the fact that you're where you are, because number one, you made a poor decision in your life by not eating right, or where you are if you don't look good. Could be hereditary, but you don't have to be a skinny mini to look good. You can be big and still look good. But the bottom line is, you got to do the work. And there are a number of men and women who don't want to do the work. That's where it all comes down to, or what it all comes down to. Because when you look good, you feel good. This is why I try to keep myself clean shaven before I get on camera. Because individuals who watch my videos, and a video of mine could be watched all over the world because this is YouTube. And when you get in front of any camera or you speak in front of an audience, you have to make sure that what you're saying is coherent. Physically, you have to look decent as well. You got to be well dressed and well spoken. But see, a lot of us become very lazy, and we use shaming tactics again to try to shut down the reality. And what I mean the reality is, well, if people aren't paying attention to you, it's because you're not paying attention to yourself. And that's what's really going on. When it comes to individuals using these self-proclaimed names, when they're really fat and they're trying to substitute it with thick, And I'm not talking about black women, so please don't come to my channel with that nonsense. I'm just talking about people in general. But yes, a number of women do use the word thick, or they body shame individuals who do look better than they do, because the people who look better than you, they've actually done some work with themselves and they care about themselves more than you care about yourself. And that's where it all comes down to. Do you care about yourself enough to be presentable in the mirror and in public? If you do, then you get the attraction based on what you look like. Now, if you don't like yourself, the bottom line is you got to pick up the pieces and do some work. And again, trying to look decent takes work. But are you willing to do the work? If you're not, I got to question you on this. If you're not willing to work on yourself, then how come you can get up every day and go to work for the chump change that you make from an employer? Because you're just making that employer rich, but at the end of the day, you don't want to work on yourself. And working on yourself is not just the physical part, it's also the mental part as well. And you have a number of individuals who use a lot of excuses and, of course, shaming language, so they don't have to work on themselves. Well, at the end of the day, your appearance is going to get you the attention. Now, the attention, again, if you look good, you're going to get more attention. If you don't, you may get some attention. But at the end of the day, the attention that you are going to get is not what you want. And this is part of getting to know yourself and caring about yourself. And this is why some marriages don't work. Because a number of women will do this. They'll get the guy. And after they've gotten the guy, then they let themselves go. And they're wondering why the guy doesn't want to touch them anymore. It's because the individual went from the beauty that they got to now somebody who's not attractive. And then here's what happens, and here's where that feminist mindset comes in. Well, the feminists, they're the ones who brought out the body shaming. They're the ones that brought out, you got to accept somebody for who they are. Let me tell you something. No, you don't. That's the biggest bunch of bunk I ever heard. If you're not willing to respect and take care of yourself, why should I respect and want to take care of you? Because at the end of the day, you should be number one, because you live one time. And I always believe this. If my grooming standards aren't up to where they should be, I'm going to get them there. Because I'm being judged on how I look. And let me give you a serious example. Go to a job interview and you look like Joe Shit the rag bag. See how far you get. You're not even going to get in the door. Those people aren't going to want to hire you. Because first of all, you get one shot. That's the same way about a relationship. If you run around and your pants are sagging, or you're wearing clothes that you don't have the body to be in, they're going to call you different names. Or they're not going to look at you at all. See, if you work on yourself and you take care of yourself mentally and physically, when it comes to picking a partner, you're going to have a greater selection than when you don't. And having a college education and having a job doesn't entitle you to a relationship. In fact, what I found is a number of people who go to college, they got a good job. Well, they have to do that. Why? because they're not as attractive as the people who don't have to go to college. Some people were born beautiful. Some people weren't. But now, of course, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So I have a certain body type that I like. And like I said, I'm the guy that likes the BBW type. I admitted that several times. But even the BBW has to have the right shape. She has to have a decent face. She doesn't have to have a lot of money, because I'm not looking for a woman as a come up. But what I'm saying is, if she takes care of herself by working on, number one, looking feminine and having a good mind, that's the person I'm going to be around. So you can have a person of a particular body type that you like, but if they don't want to work on themselves to make themselves better, then there are going to be problems. Why? Because this is a person that is going to, again, use the old adage, you got to accept me for who I am. When somebody tells me that, they're just saying, I don't want to work on myself. That's not somebody you want to deal with. And I'm going to put that in my rules of dating as well. That video is coming up. But I want to let everybody know that looks are important. We don't want to talk about looks, but they're important. And as a man, I'm visual, and I know 99% of other men are visual. I don't care if you're a simp, a white knight, a mangina, an alpha, a sigma male. Most men are visual, and women got to understand that. Now, we men have different standards when it comes to women, and women have different standards when it comes to men too. But at the end of the day, when it comes to appearance, a good appearance is going to get you attention. People who are unattractive aren't going to get the attention. This is why they have to, again, throw up their achievements. Well, I got a good job. I got a college degree. And I'm going to say, so what? You still don't look good, so I'm not going to talk to you. And it's usually the people with the college degrees, I'm talking about on the female side of the house, who believe all the propaganda that academia is feeding them anyway. So they're not even going to be attractive when it comes to being intellectual, because they're too gullible, since they get all their information from professors and TV. But that's another issue. What I'm trying to do is tell men and women that you don't have to be a perfect 10, but you have to work on yourself to get your grooming and your looks up to par if you want to attract somebody in your life. And when you are married or living together, you don't let yourself go, because if you do, what's going to happen? One or both partners are going to end up cheating. Because at the end of the day, a man or a woman, when you're partners, you got to make each other tingle. If you can't do that, you have no relationship. So if you're going to think about yourself, be selfish about working on your looks, because looks are important. I don't care how much body shaming, how much look shaming you hear, throw that out the window. Because in the real world, people are visual. It's always been that way, and it will continue to be that way. If you don't believe me, why are a number of women dyeing their hair? Why are a number of women getting hair extensions, fake breasts, butt injections? because they know that's going to get them attention. And they know that looks mean a lot. I just gave you the examples. You don't have to believe me. The answer's out in the real world. And at the end of the day, you will find everything that you are looking for in the real world if you understand the real world. But when it comes to looks, yes, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But looks matter. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for this Thursday evening, November 30th, 2017. You can tune into the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Matt Coley will be my host. We are going to get the radio show started back up because of our work schedules. That's why I hadn't had it in a few months. But we're going to get some deeper topics on the Blog Talk Radio show. So again, if you want to be a participant, the call-in number is 215-383-5785. And of course, if you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on this channel, I don't engage in debates, controversy, or emotional issues. And that's based on how you as the audience person take it. What I do on this channel is teach. This is why I don't engage in a drama or unnecessary bickering, because it is counterproductive. What you're going to hear presented to you is real world topics. And I tell you, the best reference to understand real world is to be of the real world instead of the social media world. You can include social media into the real world, but the real world is going to give you the answer that you're looking for. But you got to be observant. You got to be willing to listen, communicate, and learn. Because what I'm giving you are topics that are realistic from a positive perspective. And when you have knowledge, you also have power. And if you have a topic, a business, or a new YouTube channel that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, the only thing you have to do is email me. My email address is lej6521@yahoo.com. Correction, that's lej6521@gmail.com. And if you have a comment, please leave your comments in the comment section under the video. But make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering, if you wish to opine. Now that's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful with each other, and have a wonderful and blessed night. Good night.